Hey everyone, this is Chris from Noisewire. I'm here at Absolution Fest in Tampa, Florida with Davey and Sophie from the band Dildox. How you guys doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So first question is for Sophie. Sophie, I saw on you guys' Instagram that your first show was actually in Tampa. Like the first show you attended, correct?
I can't believe it, but I was a huge Arctic Monkeys fan. I was 16 years old and I went to the Ritz. I made my mom drive me because no one I knew liked them. And so I got to see them at this all ages show and I didn't know what earplugs were or anything. I was just like wearing my little Goodwill sundress and got tinnitus really, really bad that night.
So how does it feel though to be back in Florida and playing a show? Like is it like it's like a dream come true kind of thing?
Definitely a dream come true, kind of surreal. I've been making music, and was making music as a kid in Florida, writing stuff on piano, definitely a lot of acoustic stuff. And I kind of, I started producing music when I was in college, but I don't think ever in a million years did I think that we would be playing in Tampa as Dildox and as this project. So that makes it super special. And with all these incredible bands, it's definitely like, wow, just an awesome moment.
That's awesome. So let's get into the band. You guys started in 2023, and you guys have played live a lot. It seems like playing live is a big component of the band. When you approach writing songs, is it more like the two of you jamming together live, or is it more like one of you has an idea and the other one iterates on it?
Usually we'll start with, I'll start with a musical idea, and then Sophie will come in and add lyrics, but we really refine the songs a lot during the live shows, basically. Work things out on stage, see what works, what doesn't. Things change a lot once we start playing them live.
Yeah, and over the course of the EPs, it's kind of a blended approach. In the beginning, it was kind of like my beats that Davey was reprogramming on his devices, and I was adding the synth parts. And then we really liked the interactiveness of our set, where I can leave a keyboard setup and just go into the crowd. And so we recorded the synth parts into the backing track. And then the new stuff, Davey's production was just, leveling up, and he would have the synth bass arps going, and it left like more space for me to do things vocally. So in Bound to Submit, you can hear some samples on the tracks, and those are just things that, came up. That I added in there after we had come up with a theme for the tracks. But Davey's kind of been holding it down with the new material, producing and arranging the instrumentals and the bass parts. And then I try to come in and, add the vocals, add the melody, any little synth parts and samples. And we're just trying to level it up. We're doing less now. I feel like we're trying to go back and maybe do more, add the drum trigger back in, maybe some live synth. But we love the punk approach where it's just, vocals and bass and the backing tracks.
Nice. So speaking of new releases, you recently released a remix by Choke Chain of your track Primal Urge. So how did you guys hook up with Choke Chain, and what did you think of his treatment of the track?
So we met Mark out at Substance out in LA in 2023, and just hit it off. Feel like there's a musical kinship in the punk approach of what we're doing, and
we love his music, and he was very receptive to our music, and we were talking online. Even though he was in Milwaukee, we tried to play Milwaukee together, and then it turned out that we were playing Cold Waves, and we were looking for remixes, and he offered to remix even though he was working on his new full-length album. So it really worked out, and I think I was listening to a lot of Choke Chain last summer when I was recording the vocals to Primal Urge, so we felt like it was gonna be a great kind of, going back to the hardcore kind of industrial, really great mixing that he does with his own Choke Chain flavor to it that we adore.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I really like his stuff too. So it's cool to see the two of you getting blended together. So I've read the name Dildox was kind of a play on the seriousness of band names, like the way you chose it. So How does that sense of playfulness or pushing back against seriousness like play into the ethos of the band?
I mean, that is where we're coming from. Basically, is we don't take ourselves too seriously, I don't think, and we really try to have fun and freely pull in from other genres, just mix things around. Literally on stage, Sophie is playful, running around in the audience. And
Davey came from a punk background, and I came, like I always was making music, but I come from a classical background, so I studied church organ and pipe organ and choral directing and a lot of theory, including jazz theory, and I just wanted to have fun with music again, and I think Davey's approach is like very pure in that way, and I think that comes off in our music, and it seems to garner like a more sincere reaction from people, because we're not up there trying to do a genre. We're not up there trying to do anything specific. We really just want to create as freely as we can and express that like raw, product there, rather than cultivating some like goth-like perfectionism that I think, as a perfectionist myself, and that suffers from procrastination and, imposter syndrome. It's really about finishing stuff and getting it out there, and not getting bogged down with judgment and self-doubt, because I definitely stuck in that world before, and Dildox is like the antithesis to that.
Yes.
Nice. So, prior to Dildox, did the two of you have any other creative pursuits individually? And do you feel like those other creative pursuits kind of have come together to form sort of like the unique project that is Dildox?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have a long background as a visual artist, playing in punk and rock and psych rock bands and more experimental projects. So it is, definitely a free space to let everything intermingle in Dildox.
He's been in like so many bands all at once, and I definitely had projects, really silly ones too, that I loved. I was a keyboardist in a psych rock band, and again, I made solo noise where I would just like scream for 10 minutes and like until my voice gave out and smash on synths, which is like basically what we do now, except Davey is laying down really funky bass and like really fun industrial beats. So I think it's a combination of what I've done before, and also all the stuff that we've been able to inject and see, including at Absolution Fest like this, across the country, the world, even though we haven't left America, and the resurgence of EBM, industrial music. And I'm very grateful to Davey for showing me a lot of stuff that growing up in Sarasota I just didn't see and I didn't know about, so it's been really cool synthesizing those inspirations and making them unique to Dildox.
Nice. So you guys are based in LA now, right?
That's right.
So there seems to be a lot going on with the dark electronic scene in LA, the industrial and dark wave scenes.
It's thriving.
Yeah. What is it like from your perspective as an insider? And are there any other bands out there that you guys feel a real kinship with, or that you want to give a shout out to?
Broodface, Healng. We are so lucky to be surrounded by people, not only definitely in Los Angeles. So going off of Los Angeles, Broodface is a solo industrial artist who's absolutely amazing. He's playing with Leather Strip on Tuesday, actually. So we're trying to haul ass back home so we can go support him. We played in Vegas together. He's got some great records. He's a really slept-on artist. He's about to do a tour, like Midwest, Southeast, and also with Healng. He's a Cincinnati-based artist. He's also done a Dildox remix that we absolutely adore of Mutation. And his stuff is just magnanimous, if I can say that.
It's really hard not to be super inspired being in LA right now. There's a ton of bands, shows 5 nights a week pretty much. One of my favorites is our friends the Neocons.
Okay.
They're maybe they're definitely slept on. It's incredible stuff. Kind of somewhere in between Big Black and Skinny Puppy. Really good.
It's a two-piece. They're both vocalists, guitar, synths. They dress in like really intense camouflage and like fatigue attire, and it's basically like if an industrial punk band, was in the army, but they're like, anti all of that, and they just love to play, and they do not care who they're playing to.
Smart, well-written music, yeah.
So I'm a bit of a language nerd, and I've read that you guys incorporate Russian lyrics into your music.
У меня есть желание. Дьявольское желание.
Does that come from like a personal cultural place, or are you just a fan of languages and Russian appeals to you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Davey has Eastern European roots, but mainly the Russian comes from me being fluent in Russian, having immigrated to America from Russia at the age of 8, and I've always maintained the language. And obviously, even though I'm Americanized, I feel like I cannot escape the Russian heritage and my blood, and I think the language to me is not really like the romanticization of a language where, I really like speaking Russian, which is true. It's more of a freer expression for the music rather than getting bogged down with people are understanding what I'm saying in English. It really becomes more about the sounds and the energy, which I really appreciate, and I can turn off my mind and just focus on the energy, the melodies, and use that more in a very like kind of visceral approach rather than these are words and this is a poem and these are lyrics.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So what can fans expect from Dildox in the next couple of months? You guys got anything coming up that you're excited to talk about?
We're heading home. We're doing Substance the beginning of November, and then we're going to be getting into the studio working on some recordings, trying to get a record done. We really want to get a full length done. At least, yeah.
We're super inspired. We just we are about to do our 15th show in 16 days, and it's been absolutely epic. We're itching to play for this audience and see so many other great bands, and we just really are so grateful for people like Mark and DJ Winters of Communion After Dark and Absolution Fest, and people like you guys supporting the little guys, supporting the DIY scene. We don't have a budget, we don't do marketing, we don't have an agent, so just word of mouth, Dildox. I mean, it all makes sense. We need that transferred, and so we're just stoked. And gosh, yeah, Communion After Dark, DJing our tracks, it's been awesome, and we're hoping to lock in and get to work and put out some great music in the next few months.
Yeah, we just want to make everyone who supports us proud. That is really where it comes from.
And we all love new music, I'm
Absolutely.
getting tired of listening to our old tracks, so it's like it's time to get some new stuff.
Well, we'll be paying attention, adding that to our playlist whenever it comes out. But
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. We're very much looking forward to seeing you live tonight at Absolution Fest, and
It's gonna be
hopefully we'll
fun.
hear that new music soon.
To the beast.